Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another session of the Natural Remedies Kitchen, Vegan Nutrition Cooking and Nutrition course. I am Davina, your main head chef today. Along with me, we've got our co-chef, Loy, and together we'll be teaching you how to do breads, gluten-free breads. Now, before I get into the nitty-gritty of the subject at hand, I will begin with a word of prayer. I also want to share with you quickly 4 dietary periods from the Bible. So if we turn our Bibles to Genesis 1 verses 29, we will see the first diet that was prescribed from man, which is a diet of fruits and grains and seeds. Now, after man's sin, so this was when Adam and Eve was perfect in their best shape and form. Then after Adam and Eve sinned, they then got a diet which included the same, but with the addition of vegetables and herbs. Now, herbs are for indeed the healing of the nation, needed the vegetables are needed to sustain health. Then after the flood, diet of man changed again because vegetation was destroyed. So we were then given meat as a part of our diet because there was no vegetation. Nonetheless, even with meat, we were given very clear prescriptions. One, to have clean meats, and definitely by no means unclean meats. Along with that prescription, the clean meats were supposed to be prepared in a very particular way. One, the animals supposed to be killed with a sharp knife, the no suffering for the animal, no fear, no stress, that we surely know is not happening today with our um meats that we are eating. The animals, we're not supposed to eat the blood either, or the fat from the animal. Now we know that is completely what is not happening in our society, because every chef will let you know that to enjoy a good meat, you need to have that fat in it. And when you cook it with the fat gives it juice, makes it juicy, succulent, and flavorful. Oh, but the Bible says whoever eats the blood or the fat is an abomination unto the Lord and shall be cut off from his society. And do we see that happening? Yes. We see men dropping like ants, being cut off from their society, one way or the other, either through violence, because others who eat the flesh of these animals, the blood and the fat, their behavior becomes very animalistic, and people are also dying from the disease where the fat and the blood is bringing disease to their body, clogging up their arteries, and many more. All right, then we turn our Bibles to Revelation chapter 22, and I do believe it might be verse 2 or somewhere close to there, where we'll see the diet for this day and age. So Revelation is the last book for the last generation, which we want to think that we are in the last generation here based on prophecies that have fulfilled before. And we can see the diet for this generation is herbs. There will be the tree of life in the midst of the new Jerusalem, and the herbs, the leaves of the tree, are for the healing of the nation. And obviously, if you want to get it even into more details, you can look at Elijah's diet, how he prepared the meat, and his dietary period, even in his own life. But what I want to say to you right now, we really should be subsisting on a plant-based diet, especially even if we don't believe what the Bible says. That's fine if you're not a Christian and you don't believe. But if you look at what is happening around us, by no means should any man be subsisting on the flesh of dead animals, because the flesh of the animals are riddled with diseases. Unfortunately, not even eggs and milk are safe anymore for our consumption. And with that said, I just want to pray and give the Lord thanks and ask him for his guidance to bring us through today's lesson. Father, we thank you for your mercies. We thank you for your grace. And here today, we are asking you for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Guidance as we go through the lesson. We're asking you for success and favor, God, with everything that we're going to prepare in the kitchens today, Lord. You say that the cooking is a talent, it's a skill, it's one of the highest talent It is in terms of the greatest and the least talent, it is at the top as being the greatest talent. So, Lord, and that's because obviously whatever we cook and we put in our mouths will either make us or break us. So today I'm asking you to grant everyone an extra weight, an extra measure, Lord, of the talent of cooking today, all of us. And may our breads, God, which is a simple staple, we're asking that they come out amazing. May they be light, may they be sweet, may they be fresh, may they be flexible and pliable, and may they be very enjoyable and be a refreshing, like a refreshment to our taste buds. Grant us favor now as we eat clean and healthy to bring glory and honor to your name, O God. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. I am hoping everyone is in their kitchens today. We are going to start out with. All right. So let's make some clarifications. Let me go on your thing and see the recipes. I will actually share them on the screen. All right. So on your class menu and shopping list, we have quinoa flatbread, we have millet naan bread, we have gluten-free sliced bread. The teacher who is supposed to come in today, we should have a special guest coming in today to teach the gluten-free sliced bread. She has done it. I have tested the bread. I don't necessarily like that green bread. It tasted very good, but it doesn't taste like bread, and the texture, it's a little bit heavy as well for bread. It's more, it tastes very good. It could be a really good loaf. So it's a recipe I will be springboarding from to create a nice loaf. In fact, I've asked her to do that. But no, what we're gonna do today is I have shared a recipe in the group this morning that is called gluten-free sliced bread, and we are going to go ahead with that sliced bread that we have done. Nonetheless, if you had soaked your quinoa from before, even with chia seed, if you had also soaked the chia seed, that's fine. We will be using all these things to make a flat bread, more like a pancake kind of bread with that later, or what you call it, like a tortilla, that flexible type of bread. We'll be doing that a little bit later with that if you had those ingredients already soaked. Now we are going to the recipe that I sent through this morning, and it's called gluten-free, yeast-free bread. All right, and it is asking for 3 cups of whatever gluten-free flour you have at home that is dry. So now, not flour that is baked, not flour that is wet, but dry. Nothing soaked but dry stuff. All right, 3 cups of that. And I'm hoping you're able to see. Let me just look at what you're seeing. Let me see if I can share this, by the way, from my screen. Aloy, are you able to just share it? Let me try and see this thing. Are you seeing, let me just see what you're seeing. Okay, so this looks like it. Good. All right, so there we go, nice and big and bold on our screens. We have our gluten-free, yeast-free bread. So you can speak with me. We can use any 3 cups of whatever gluten-free flour you have. Here with me, I have got this really terrible flour to work with. It is called Bob's Red Mill All-Purpose Baking Flour. When I tell you it is terrible, it is terrible.
Okay. Let me tell you what I have so you can tell me which one is the best.
Go ahead. Not hearing you very clearly.
I have white bread flour. Is gluten free.
You've got
Everything is
bread flour.
white bread flour, gluten free.
Oh,
And I have,
gluten-free bread flour.
yeah.
Okay,
And
sounds good.
I have that one. I have the self-raising white flour. Everything is gluten free. I have cassava flour and I have the white plain one. So which one is the best for now? You think?
Um, I would use the bread flour.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So the bread flour, can you just read the ingredients on it for me, please?
Let me see now. Uh,
So
wait,
whatever.
wait, let me look.
Okay.
Okay. It have a flour blend. They have rice, tapioca, um, this and this thickener, this gum, some kind of thing like that. A thickener. So you having rice, tapioca, and potato flour, all of
Xanthan
that.
gum.
Yeah, and that. That's what it's in it.
Okay. All right. So it already has xanthan gum in it. All right, no
Yeah.
problem. So when we coat the psyllium husk, you will use much less because the xanthan gum will
Yeah.
be doing the same job as the psyllium husk.
Oh, right. Because I already have. I I bought this Zantam gum too. I didn't know what it was, but so then I bought it also.
Oh, what, the
Okay.
psyllium husk?
No, I have the psyllium help, but I also bought this Zantam gum. I bought it
Okay, you don't need any additional.
oh, okay, no worry.
Yeah, all right, so
So 3 cups you said to put it.
yes, sieve it, please. 3 cups. Um, Sim,
Do we have to sift it or just add it?
sift it, please.
Okay.
Sister Sim.
This is cassava flour. I have andasheen flour. I have coconut flour and I have chickpea flour. I have, but I have a lot of I have a lot of excessive cassava flour more than anything else.
I have a plenty different type of flour myself. 3 cups.
I want to use the cassava flour because I have so much of it.
So, Sister Sim, you say you have the cassava flour. Hold on.
More than anything else. I have a lot of cassava flour, so I want to use the cassava flour.
All
All
right, so
right,
you
so you
have a
have a
starch.
starch.
I didn't hear that.
If you
If you
have a
have a
starch,
starch,
hold on,
hold
I'm
on, I'm
echoing.
echoing. If you have a starch,
I
are you
have
hearing me?
cassava flour and I have dasheen flour.
Like any, cause cornstarch.
I have cornstarch.
Okay, all right. So that's good. That's good. Is there anyone else online? Loy, were you gonna make today, or your anybody?
I have some quinoa, so I'm going to be using quinoa to do this. I'm making it
This
some
slice?
flour. Yes,
All right.
but it's not
So, and you have some starch.
I have some cornstarch.
All right, Clary,
She will be
Sister
able to
Clary.
cook. She,
I'm
yeah,
at work too.
Okay, all right. So you're not cooking at the moment. All right, no problem. So you can watch and you can make your notes whenever possible. All right. So as for the rest of us, we are gonna head on with what we have here. All right. So we're looking at the 3 cups Saffir flour. So I'm
yeah.
using this all-purpose baking flour by Bob's Red Mill. I've used it once before last December, and it spoiled up all my cakes. I have to end up eating them. Couldn't sell them, but I decided that I'm not going to give up. I'm going to try with this flour until I get it. So I'm going to try it again and play around with the recipe until I figure it out. How to manage this recipe here to get it to be gluten-like. So what I must tell you about gluten-free flours and stuff, what I must tell you about gluten-free flours and stuff is that if you've ever tried a gluten-free bread or try making one, you will find that the flours are very sandy. They don't hold together naturally on their own because gluten is what gives normal flour its stretchiness. It is what makes the flour hold together when you make a bread. That gives you texture similar to what you're seeing on the screen here. It is gluten. So when you have these gluten-free flour, it just falls apart. You slice it and it falls apart. If a little water catch it, it just turns in pot immediately. So making a gluten-free bread has been quite a task now for some time, right? And then in our situation where we're not using yeast, that just adds another spin to the conundrum of problems that is already existing, right? So what we are going to use to replace the gluten in these gluten-free flours that we're going to use the psyllium husk to replace the gluten. The psyllium husk has a tendency of really binding the flours together. I must say cassava flour on its own has a lot of glamity to it, and it actually helps to just it does a good job on its own without the psyllium husk, but we're still going to add a little psyllium husk to it. Then you have another binder like xanthan gum, which also the xanthan gum is actually recommended for baked products, right? In the vegan gluten-free world, it's recommended for baked products as it really helps in that area. Now, have I got xanthan gum? Yes, I've got xanthan gum. Have I ever actually used the xanthan gum? I've never actually used the xanthan gum. So oh, maybe I've used it once, but in terms of really giving a true report on the xanthan gum, I don't believe I am in a position to do such because I haven't used it long enough or often enough to make such a judgment as yet. And I don't remember what happened when I used it the first time. So once we have that 3 cups of flour sifted out, once we have that, hold a moment for me, please. So once we have that 3 cups of flour sifted, once we have that 3 cups of flour sifted out, we're gonna do our cornstarch. So I would say if you haven't got any coconut flour or almond flour, then do your 2 cups of cornstarch. If you've got coconut or almond, then you can do 1 cup of cornstarch and a cup of coconut or almond. So we're gonna do 2 cups of cornstarch over here.
I don't have any cornstarch, neither coconut flour or almond flour.
But you've got the bread flour, which so you
Yeah.
can add
Mm-hmm.
a couple more cups of the bread flour. Do you have any other flour?
I have cassava flour. I have gram flour.
You have
Oh,
cassava?
yeah, cassava flour. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's a good one. You can add a cup of the cassava flour and add an extra cup of your bread flour.
Oh, oh.
So whenever you're making like mixes with gluten-free flour, it's always good to have starch in it, which is like the cornstarch or the tapioca or the arrowroot, because it also helps with binding, also helps with really holding it together and improving the texture of the product.
Um, with me, I have maybe I have to think. So for me, just put in the another cup of the red flour and a cup of cassava and nothing else. That's okay for now.
That's okay for now. Yes, that's okay for
Oh,
now.
right. Okay. I'll get that. So,
Oh, I forgot I was gonna add some. Yes, I should. Okay, stop it. Okay, I forgot. I was gonna add some coconut. So let me tell you the purpose of the coconut or the almond flour. When you have the almond flour in it or any nut flour, really, it helps to give the baked goods a nicer browner crust. That is
okay.
what it does. So I was really looking forward to that on the bread, but I've missed that. So I've already put 2 cups of cornstarch here, which I'm gonna. That's too small. I'll use it without the French bread. Because that's the 5 cups of flour that we need. So yeah, that's it. All right. So on our ingredients list, we now have the psyllium husk. So let me tell you a little bit about the psyllium husk, how we're gonna use it. So it gives a really good hold to your products. As I said, it's your gluten replacement. Now, for every psyllium husk is a very tricky stuff. I've learned how to use the psyllium husk from experience. Right? Now, if you use too much psyllium husk, you will have a mixture that stick to the roof of your gum.
Mm,
And you know when you have to use your tongue and push it off,
yeah.
that is what will happen when you use too much psyllium husk. Okay, different recipe. Oh, okay. So my recipe here, if you have grounded flaxseed, you can add maybe 2 or so tablespoons of grounded flaxseed. I'm gonna add that to mine because it also helps as an egg replacement. Plus, it also gives the bread some color as if it's brown bread.
Yeah. How much you said?
Yeah,
2 tablespoons?
two. Yeah, 2 tablespoons. Make sure it is grounded properly, or at least sieve it. So
Yeah, I have that bought the one that is grounded.
still sieve it. Still sieve
Oh,
it. And
no
I'm
worries.
gonna tell you why in a second. let
Okay,
me
no
go back
worries.
and finish off the psyllium husk. What I was saying about the psyllium husk.
Okay.
Too much of it will make the foods become really gummy, stick to the roof of your mouth. Psyllium husk as a way of tricking bakers. It absorbs a lot of water, and you will add your water and you will think in your recipe looks really dry, and you will keep adding water, and then when that thing is cooking, all next year it is still cooking, still wet because of the psyllium husk. All right, so keep those two things in mind. And then again, it also absorbs a lot of water, so you want to make sure that you do put sufficient water in it. Otherwise, you're going to get a bread that is dry and not properly cooked. And I don't know if you have ever heard me share this story, or maybe you have read it for yourself. It's actually in the book Counsels on Diets and Food, where a young mistress was making bread for her master, and she didn't make the bread properly, but she didn't want them to know that so much ingredients was wasted, so she threw it out and give the hogs. And the master had some lovely hogs. The hogs eat the bread, and in the morning they wake up, the hog them dead. The
Oh,
bread killed
Father.
the hogs.
Oh, Father.
So yes, we always share this this story because there are many cooks out there putting their husbands to the grave.
That's it. Right.
Yeah, so now you're gonna add your 2 tablespoons of the
Flaxseed.
this flaxseed, milled flaxseed. So this is it now. When it comes on to baking and the flaxseed,
Sis,
by
before
all
you go on, I
yeah,
need
go
to
ahead.
ask you something. It says 1 to 2 cups cornstarch. I have only 1 cup, so I use 1 cup. So with the coconut flour, how much should I use? It says
Oh,
half
you
to
have
1 cup.
coconut? One.
Flour.
Yes. You have good stuff, man.
Yes, man, she have
Says,
everything.
says
All right.
half or 1 cup. Which one you do recommend?
No, man, you can use the 1 cup because you're gonna use the psyllium husk, which is gonna help to hold everything together. And your bread is gonna have a good flavor because the cassava flour and the coconut flour together gives a really lovely flavor. So this is it now with the flax meal. You know, when you sieve it, you have some little grains left back. Don't throw these grains in it. You can set it aside. Maybe when you make meatballs, or you can throw it in your smoothie, or maybe when we make one of the other bread, like one of the flat breads, you can put it in it. What happened now with the flax seed? These little pieces of seeds can actually go in when they go in your food, they create pockets, and they they I don't remember what they do, but they do something to the texture of the bread that is not the most pleasant. So I've used 1 Jamaican-sized tablespoon. As you see, mine looked like a little mountain. I can use a little bit more if I want. I'm gonna mix it in though and see my color, and see if I want to add another tablespoon of flax meal. And I believe I'm gonna add another one. So again, I'm using my Jamaican-sized tablespoon, which is, when you read it in a recipe, it normally says a heap. All right, a heap of a tablespoon. So you know that it is 1 tablespoon. It's not level, it's full. And I just use the eating tablespoon, not the
Mhm.
measuring tablespoon, but the one that you would normally have,
So that's plenty.
right, that you would normally use for your ice cream.
So you tell me to put in
Or
another one then? So put
Sis,
in another tablespoon then?
I put 2, but you have a
Oh, that
brown color flour or you have a white color flour.
is white.
Okay, so I am just putting it because I'm trying to get the color,
Okay.
like a brown bread, similar, or something
Yes,
with
yes,
some
yes.
green in it. That's the kind of color I'm trying
Okay,
to
I understand.
yes. Sorry, Sim, you were saying something? And then this psyllium husk, So because we're using about 5 cups of flour. With the psyllium husk, I normally use about 1 to 1.5 teaspoons of psyllium husk powder per cup of flour. That's how I normally measure mine. But then I normally stop at a certain amount. It doesn't matter how much flour, I just don't go past a certain amount of psyllium husk. So with this, we're gonna use 4. We're gonna use 4, maybe 4 and a little bit psyllium husk, but we're not gonna use 5 tablespoons of psyllium husk. We're gonna use less than 5. We're gonna use 4 for this amount of flour in front of me here. 4 tablespoons of psyllium husk.
You say for my flour, because I have bread flour, I would use less. So what should I use then?
So I would use because you've got the xanthan gum inside of it. I would use maybe 3. I would use maybe 2.5, 3
tablespoon, right?
Yes.
Okay, no worries.
Oh, baking powder now. Yes. 4. So you will see some recipes will tell you to you mix
Dave,
the
can I
psyllium.
interrupt you? Sorry about the baking powder. A lot of times when I speak to naturopathic doctors, they tell us that we shouldn't use baking powder. How you feel about that?
Well, they say that because they use yeast, but we don't use yeast. So we're gonna have a tough bread if we don't use something to raise it. But you can use carbonated water, like fizzy water, but you still need a little baking powder in it. But they use, those are the naturopathic persons, they use yeast, and that will give the bread a raise. But if you have yeast and if somebody wants to use yeast, that's fine. But if you've had insulin resistance, any sort of diabetic issues or yeast overgrowth or any bacterial overgrowth or any run of cancer, I do recommend that you stay away from yeast, including yeast flakes. So
Excuse me,
sorry, go
Davina.
ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to add that would it be a would you recommend also for a different type of baking powder, because there are different types, aren't
Oh
there?
yes, oh yes,
Yeah.
oh yes, yes. So aluminum-free baking powder is what we recommend here. Oh, so here is a brand that works. Aluminum-free baking powder, and I use this one, and it works. It's also gluten-free.
I didn't get that, so I have the normal one for now.
Okay, use what you have, and
Yeah. Next time
I mean, you probably won't find this brand where you are, but you'll find lots of aluminum-free baking powder there in the UK.
I look next year. I didn't get the chance to look properly.
No, psyllium husk. There is the powder and there is the flakes. Or they just call it psyllium husk. If your recipe is asking for the powder. Now, if your recipe asks for the flakes, if it says 3 tablespoons, but you have powder, you would use about, you get more out of the powder than what you get out of the flakes. So add about another 20% onto the flakes to make up for the powder, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the baking powder now, do we put in 3 tablespoons?
Yes, you can sieve the baking powder in as well.
I'll do that, yeah.
You can try like that. Sprinkle that. So So we're gonna add
3 tablespoons of baking powder.
so we add our 3
Yes,
tablespoons
right.
of baking powder to ours. And we need to probably soon we're going to turn the ovens on, but not quite yet. As soon as we start mixing our dough, then we can turn it on and let it just warm a little bit. All right, so what next? Some salt. So it says 2 teaspoons of salt. Feel free to use a little bit less. Salt helps to bring up the flavor of all the other ingredients.
Hmm.
Teaspoons.
Yes.
And then we're, yeah.
The only salt I have in my house is Himalayan pink salt. Is that okay?
Use it.
Okay.
All right, so we've used maybe a little bit under 2 teaspoons, nothing to report home about.
Okay.
And when you're mixing your flour, try not to knock the air out of it. Hold a moment for me, please. All right, sorry about that. So now we put our salt in, we've got everything in. Now we need to put our lecithin. If you've got the powder, you can add the powder, or if you have the liquid, when we get to the liquid ingredients, we can add the liquid. Okay, so we've got ours over here.
Sweet teaspoon of lecithin. Okay.
All right, so three tablespoons of lecithin. We can add more than 3 tablespoons of lecithin.
But we have
So
teaspoon there. Do we add teaspoon or tablespoon? Because this thing have teaspoon.
teaspoons. We can
Okay.
add. You can add 1 teaspoon per cup of flour. So we're gonna add ours. So lecithin have a way of becoming a little bit clumpy. So get the wind of the lecithin. Get the wind of the lecithin. I'm not so sure if we're going to save it. Just if we get the thing quickly. That doesn't mix it in, yeah. Yeah. No level. Just get it in. But oh, we have it in clumps. Ours is clumped up, so we're gonna have to go push it through the sieve a little bit, or we're gonna have to put it with the wet ingredients. So the purpose of the lecithin. Hold on a moment. Can you call Claudette quickly, please, Oliver? Huh? Just call her, please. Um, it's 7. It's Scott Jointro. 5. Put 5 teaspoon. So
Davina, if you have the liquid lecithin, what do you do? At the
all
same
right. So
amount?
when we get to wet ingredients, we'll use the liquid lecithin. It as the wind touches it, it starts stuck in even in the spoon. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about the purpose of the lecithin in the bread. It's gonna add flavor to the bread. It's gonna help to just combine and emulsify all the ingredients nicely. And it has some other benefits in baked products. Where's my notes? Hold a moment. Let me get my book. You get her? Well, I might have to educate you at another time about the purpose of the lecithin in the baked goods. Or maybe somebody could do us a favor and check Google. Somebody who is not cooking could just check the lecithin in baked goods, benefit of lecithin in baked goods, and we'll see the purpose that lecithin serves in baked goods. But it does a really good job. All right, and I believe we're now down to our wet ingredients. So let me scroll down. Wonderful. So warm water and coconut oil or coconut cream. We have our coconut cream that we've made here. And we're going to try to use, we need a little warm water, maybe small pot there. Yeah, or you can put on your kettle. I should have said that from before, so everybody could have put their kettle on. But you can use a little warm water. And we've made our own coconut cream from our coconut jelly. And let me just show you the thickness of it. I don't even know if you're seeing me. It's pretty thick. Pretty thick. So that's our coconut cream that we have made with our coconut jelly and soya milk. So that's what we have used. All right. So once we've got that, mix all your flour in. Make sure it's nicely mixed in, all the ingredients. You could use a whisk. If you use a whisk, that
Just
will
the
help you
amount,
to.
please, for the warm water, coconut oil, and the
Okay,
plant-based
so
milk.
I won't get to the amount, but just put on a little pot with warm water, and we're gonna use from it, right? And see how much we really need. You're probably gonna use about 2 cups. Maybe you will use 3 cups. We'll see. But ideally, what you want to do when you mix your flour in, you want to create a well in the middle of your flour.
Can we use any other oil?
Yes, man. Use whatever oil you have. You seen my
Olive
well,
oil.
right?
Yeah.
All right. Use any oil you have. We have coconut oil. So coconut oil gives flavor, gives additional flavor to your recipe. All right. We've got coconut cream here, and we're gonna use olive oil.
Just
So
start to
we want.
interrupt. If you're using pink Himalayan salt, how much of it? The same amount as a regular salt?
Yeah, man. We can use the same two teaspoon. It might not be as salt as the others, but it does add some nice flavor. If you want to add a little bit, that's fine. In fact, we could always taste our flour. Just taste it. Take a little bit and stick it on the tip of your tongue and taste and see if you think it's salt enough. Yeah, it is salty, man.
So I'm not clear here now. To add to the warm water, we're going to add the oil and the coconut cream and everything.
Yeah, so now we need another bowl or a jug.
Right, and put all of those in.
So if you've got a can of coconut cream, you can add it to the jug or you can add it in the well. So I'm going to be adding in our well. Hope you're seeing. So I'm adding this little bit here first, because this was the extra that was left in the blender.
Now, a question. I have a box. Don't know if you could see me. I don't know. I have
All
a
right,
box.
yeah.
I have a box with coconut cream, and I have a coconut milk.
The one in the tin. You're talking the hard block. You're talking the block.
No, 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 no. The block is different. No, I have the block also, but no, not what I'm talking about. I have a
Okay, yeah,
cream.
you want the one in the tin, the full fat?
It's not full fat. I don't think. Well, it's a rich and creamy,
That one is fine. So you could
and
also use yogurt.
it
You could
has some
also use,
water. This one has some water at the bottom, so use that still.
you're gonna use everything.
Okay, so just throw it in the flour like that.
Yes, we just want to throw it in the well. Just throw it in the well. So I'm measuring here. Let's say I'm measuring out. Oops, 1 cup of cream
No
here.
worries. I'll do that. I'll throw the tin in the well, as you said.
Yeah, put everything in the well.
Good. Right, it's in. And
yes or no? Mixer. Or I guess we're gonna use my hand.
then my warm water.
One of the bigger bowl for mix, because it's this one. Yeah, this is gonna be too full. So I've added my cream to the well, and I'm gonna add some oil.
Yeah.
I'm adding about 2 tablespoons or 3 tablespoons. So I found a nice little quarter cup here, and I'm gonna add less than the quarter cup of oil. So I've added this is about half. This is about half of the quarter cup.
So about 2 or 3 tablespoons.
About 3.
All right, no worries. I'm using olive oil.
Yeah, that's the one I've got as well.
Yeah. All right.
All right. I'm gonna ask you, once you've added the oil and this, I want you to add a cup of the warm water, and then I want you to start kneading it like a dough or mixing it.
Okay.
I have a call on the line that is urgent, so just bear with me a moment, yeah, please.
No worries.
All right, so we can get some of that warm water to add to this. We're switching over. I really wanted to do it in the glass bowl, but it's really small for the mixture. So I'm gonna have to switch to this bowl here. So I'm just pouring everything out in.
Let me get that straight. We're to add 1 cup of the warm water so far, and how much coconut oil?
About half of a quarter, about 3 tablespoons. And what is?
How wet should this be?
So there is two doughs that we can make with this, right? Mixture. We can make a runny dough, or we can make one of them doughs that you can shape, you can form like a dough, like a bread dough. But most
Okay.
times with gluten-free, it's a runny dough that
Okay. So make it
everybody
runny
makes.
then. Okay.
Huh?
Right. So make it runny. Make a runny
Um,
dough.
you can make a dough that is movable. Yes, that's pourable.
Okay. I prefer that.
Smells nice. Yes. So that's a half cup. So I am adding one more cup. So I'm adding this extra cup to my dough here. And if you have a dough mixer, this is brilliant. So if you make a soft sticky dough, then we work with that. If you make a runny dough, we also work with that. Smells good. Oh, now you need to turn on the ovens. We need to turn on the ovens so they can start preheating. In the cabinet over there, so the slipper in the cabinet. Oh, hold 1 second. Yeah. So look, I don't know if you're able to see my dough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So remember, flip on the ovens. Someone's
Yeah,
trying to
mine.
come in.
Yeah, mine is on already.
All right. So is ours. I'm not even sure what temperature yet. Loy, while you're there, could you just do a quick check? Maybe about. Let me look at this oven and see something. Hold on. I'll put it at about 250, 210 maybe. 210, 230 thereabout. Anywhere between 210 and 230. I would put the oven for this bread. How does yours
No,
smell?
my oven starts at 350.
Start or stop?
Start.
Ah, that's high.
If you get a wood fire there from sister.
That's high.
All right. Loy.
Are you,
Hello, Davina. Could you please repeat your question
is
to me?
Celsius or Fahrenheit you're talking it? Because my oven starts at 350.
Me also, it's over.
I think so. If it starts at 350, I will start over 140. And where does it stop?
Don't even think about it.
For
It's
400. I've never tried to see.
Listen.
Oh, you have a digital oven.
I don't know what to say. It's a gas. We use gas to cook.
No, but the number is digital, or it's one of them dial that you can turn.
Digital. So I have to press the number digitally.
All right. We know it's up. Lai, help me out now, please. Find out about
Would you know?
240 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit.
How much is 240 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Can you feel your bread getting a little bit lighter?
Yeah.
As you're mixing it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the baking powder is activated. And lime juice. I must say that we could have added a little lime juice to this, but it seemed like I must have left it off of the recipe. What the lime juice would do is it helps with the activation, right? So in recipes, you'll probably see them also vinegar, but we don't recommend vinegar internally. But the lime juice will help with the activation of the baking powder. So it will help to give the bread more air. It will help to incorporate more air in the bread.
Okay.
Okay. So in response to your question, 250 Fahrenheit is equivalent to 121.
No, 250 Celsius to Fahrenheit.
Also the other way around. Okay, beg your pardon.
Sister, your bread would have finished baking today.
Is it too late to put it? Is it too late to put in the lemon juice now, the lime juice?
I don't think it is, but I don't think it is too late. You can add it.
Okay,
So I want to share something else with you about another way now how we can do this mixture. So this mixture that we have here, we can split it in half, or even if it's not full half, we can take some out that we are going to add back a little dough to and make it like a sticky dough. And that dough you can leave even overnight, and that's what you definitely want the lime juice in. You can leave it overnight and it will continue to develop. It will continue to develop and air will continue to form.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then if anybody have chili peppers at home, real fresh chili I'm talking about now, not the dried stuff. If you have that at home, you can take some of the green peppers and just snip the stem off and stick it in the bread. And it's gonna help you to create a sourdough mixture without any starter. I feel like I would.
So, Davina. Yes. So, 250 Celsius to Fahrenheit. It's quite hot. So it's coming at 482.
Okay, that's fine.
On a
Go
fan
ahead
oven.
with that. Go ahead with that temperature, Sister Sim. So when we teach you how to make yogurt,
This temperature is too hot. 480 is too hot. I've never cooked anything like that before.
You know, what you normally bake at?
400.
All right. So put it there. Put it there at 400. Or if
Thanks.
And that is when
so
you
480 sounds a bit high.
Normal flour, you would bake at 400?
Yes, sis.
Well, put it down a little bit lower. Because with the gluten-free flour, we need them to be in the oven a little bit. We want them to cook a little bit longer and we want the water to be able to absorb into the grains. Otherwise, you then get that kind of flour that shells apart, that kind of bread that just shells apart. So lower temperature for longer. And now we've mixed this. As I said, we can take some out. You see my dough?
Oh, it's runny. So mine is.
As you keep mixing, it's gonna come back like this, you know. So even if it is runny, as you keep mixing, it's gonna come back like this. But remember, I tell you about the psyllium husk.
Yeah, but
It can
because mine is bread flour, it's
oh, yours is stiff.
yeah, kind of, yeah.
Okay, all right. Add some more coconut cream or some more water or a little bit more oil to yours.
All
And a
right.
little bit more liquid to yours because the bread flour is a little bit firmer. Well,
Yeah,
normal
yeah,
bread flour is a little bit firmer.
yeah. Okay, I'll add some water and some olive oil, some more oil.
So what we're gonna do, yeah, we're gonna take out a cup of ours. That looks good. We're taking out a cup of ours, and it dropped good. You heard how it sound?
No?
Yeah, I think they would have seen that. Yeah, just a cup should be sufficient. And we're gonna play around with that a little bit. Now, we're gonna put this in a pan, or we can leave it in this bowl to continue just gelling and absorbing the liquid, the moisture. We want it to absorb the moisture. That's important that these grains soak up the moisture. Otherwise, you'll get a bread that the grains are still raw, which obviously it will be a part of your learning curve. All of us learning curve, because I've never made this bread before. The person who was supposed to make the bread, I didn't like how the bread came out, and then they couldn't make it today either. So I've decided, I prayed, and I said, Lord, it is full time. I've been running away from this gluten-free bread for long enough. So give me a recipe. And these are the inspirations that the Lord has given me. So let us apply the skills and the knowledge to it. And I know something good will come out. All right, so pan. We can now put this to rest, but we are going to put it to rest inside the pan. So we're going to get our pans and grease them and put your grease-proof paper. Oh, that's a big pan. Yes. And you get your grease-proof paper and stuff. So I'm just resting this aside while I prepare my pan. I think one. Yeah. Let me see if I've missed anything off the recipe here. Okay. The steam baking, that part is very important, right? So once we put our bread in the oven, we're gonna put some a bowl with water in the oven as well. Once we put a bowl with water in the bottom of the oven, so to help the bread to have some bit of moisture in it, so it's not dry like banana chips.
All right. Put in a bread pan, you know.
So we've got, I'm looking for my loaf tin. I just saw it, you know. Okay. Here we go. So we've got our loaf tin here, and
Grease your loaf tin as well as your hands and put the dough.
we're gonna, yes, we're gonna grease it.
Boy, I had it. Can I use Pyrex?
Yeah, man, it's a Pyrex we've got that I call in loaf tin.
Oh, because I don't have it.
So I do a little greasing, and now I'm gonna put the grease-proof paper in. And you could have used water. And I probably should have used water because I just use olive oil, which is pretty expensive to grease something, you know? So I'm really looking at myself, wondering exactly what is that. I'm looking for the paper, the grease-proof paper. Okay, here we go.
So I'm gonna put
This at the bottom. Put this. Yes, perfect. Yeah. So, all right. I've got wax paper here. You know, one of these is not good. Man, then it must be the grease, the wax paper. But I don't remember. But I know one of these not good. Either wax paper or grease proof. One of them is not the best to use.
okay.
Lloyd, anybody know anything that they want to share?
No, mine is baking paper, so I don't know the difference.
All right, let me see if we can use the baking paper because I have that too. But it just always tear up.
So after we grease it, you put in the
Yes, I still put the grease. I grease it just a little bit to hold the paper in place. I still put the paper because then it's easier for me to take my bread out by
Okay.
literally just lifting the sides of the paper and the bread
Right.
comes out. Yeah.
Okay, no worries. I'll do that.
So we've just put our one baking, we use one baking pan with water. We've just put that in the oven. We just put that in the oven so that our bread can steam bake a bit. Thank you. All right. So you can put your greaseproof paper your typical way how you know, but I'm also going to show you another way how you could do your greaseproof paper. So let's see. I'm putting one piece this way, and then I'm putting another piece this way. But this is too wide. So here we go. When my bread is ready, I will lift these two and just lift it out like this. And there goes my bread. Get the gist?
I was watching.
So I've got
I went away too. Go again.
All right, so I've got two pieces of paper.
I was looking for a pan to put in the oven.
Right. I was
All
away.
right. So I've got two pieces of paper.
Mm-hmm.
And I put one this way.
Right.
And then I put the other one this way.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So when the bread is ready, bam, lift out like this.
Oh, right. Good. 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 Okay.
Yeah.
No worries. I'm just putting the water in the pan.
All right. We're gonna get our bread in the pan. Maybe the spatula. So you want a nice spatula to get this bread out now, right? Because the psyllium husk, as I said, I haven't got a lot of experience with xanthan gum. And truth is, I don't remember everything theoretically at the moment about the xanthan gum. But I know it is best. It is more recommended than the psyllium husk actually for baked goods. But I like using my psyllium husk because I've got a lot of, no, not for baked goods, but for breads. I've got experience with the psyllium husk because the truth is the numbers, the measurements that are recommended for baking, when I use that, I tell you I'm the only one that can eat my bread, and it's because I know the price of the ingredients. So I'm not about to try with the xanthan gum without not with this bread. I really want this bread to come out right.
Right. What is it? Plenty flour here. It's plenty bread. We have plenty flour.
It's plenty flour, yes. And not only plenty flour, but it's plenty expensive flour.
Yeah.
So whatever comes out, I will be eating it.
Exactly.
I will toast it. And by the way, when you toast it, you'll probably get even a nicer bread. I like the texture that I have here, I've got to say.
Right. So, boy. I don't know what to say. It's mine. Mine is
Let
still.
me see what you have. Let me see it.
Can you see? Can you see anything? I don't think. Because
You have to bring it up closer to your top of your apron.
Up here. Lucas, can you see?
No, I seen your face and the apron. You would need to turn the camera down or lift the product up.
Just wait. You see, because you have because the writing is still on the board, I can't see on the thing.
Okay, let me take it off because
because I need to
we're finished with that recipe anyway.
Right, good. Now we better now. I could see that I'm seeing. Right, let me. Okay. Oops. Almost drop out.
Lift up, let me see.
Oh. Okay, can you see now the thing?
It look good, man. It don't look bad.
No, it look all right to me.
Yeah, man, that can go on.
I'm going to say the same about mine because mine is very stiff.
Add some more milk or water to it then. Let me see.
No, sis, because you're warning me about the psyllium husk, so I'm scared.
So
wait,
do I put it
camera,
in the pan?
okay. And you warn me about the psyllium husk, so.
Huh?
Put it in the pan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let me see, Sister Simon.
Your stiff minus?
Oh. That could need and form a dough. Split it. Take some of that out, and we're gonna keep some and use it as it is. But I want you to get incorporate some more liquid in some of it, so you can either have a texture similar to ours, mine and Sister Elvira, or even something a little runnier is also fine. Because you use what? Cassava flour and cornstarch.
It is cassava flour, cornstarch, coconut flour, psyllium husk.
Wow, she used everything.
Yeah, man. Cassava, add a little bit more liquid to it. Water or the cream is fine. But split it. Take some out. And then we will know which you will know at the end which texture came out better.
Okay.
So
do I make it thick or thin?
Sister Elvira, split yours as well. Look, we've got our split, so take some out, and we use. So we're gonna keep some at the texture that it is at, and then we're gonna play around with another texture.
Oh, because I was gonna make all right, okay.
So take some out, yeah.
I'll just leave some in the bowl then.
Right. So look what we've got. We've taken out 1 whole cup.
Yeah.
We've taken out 1 whole cup of ours.
So okay,
so
all right.
Yeah, we've got this cup. We put this aside.
Okay, so I'm gonna make more than one bread then.
Yes.
It's plenty. Things. Okay, all right. Should I put some more in that one? Should I make it kick off in? This.
All right, so we're working with the one that we have, the majority. You're
No,
gonna
no,
put
it's
in
not
your
that I mean, when I put it in the pan, should I put in plenty or liquor? Oh, like this.
look, you're making up, you can't see mine. You want a full
Oh,
bread.
all right, so make put in some more in that. Okay, no worries.
Yeah. So take out 1 cup, one
I'll
cup
do
and
that.
little bit. Because all
Yeah,
of us have round about the same amount of flour.
yeah.
Right. And now I want us to smooth off the top of our bread a little bit. Or you
Yeah.
can leave it rough, but I want to smooth. I want to smooth mine. This is what I'm doing. I'm putting some olive oil on my hand.
Uh-huh.
And got me the thing. So me could have smooth this. I thought I could smooth it, but it not get much smoother at all. But it's not too bad. All right. This don't look too bad. So here is mine. We're gonna put this in the oven soon, but we're not putting it in quite yet. I'm just gonna put it on top of the stove to sit down, on top of the warm stove to sit down a bit.
Okay.
And now I'm taking up the other dough. And you can do one of two things. We can either make this drier or we can make this more liquid. Which you can try? More liquid? Okay. Now, one more bucket. No, man, coconut smell good in it. Oh, where the sweet now? We never have no honey on the recipe. Give me a little honey there.
So we're gonna put the honey now. On top?
So the
We're
other
gonna add
half that I
honey.
have leave,
Oh, for the other half. Okay, no worries.
yeah, the extra bit that I have leave here. This one buckle, we can put some water in our buckle and wash it out. So we don't have no whole heap of honey over here, but we have just the last. We have just the last bit in our bottle, so we're just gonna add a little warm water and shake it around. Add that to our mixture. I'm going to add a little bit more flaxseed meal to our mixture as well because I want to get it a little bit more brown. One thing I've done here, I'm trying to find myself on this computer. I can't find myself. Okay, let's see. I found myself. Wonderful.
So I wasn't at your place where you are now. So
we have
I have the mixture
so
now.
everybody, you put the first one in the pan already?
Yeah. I put it aside.
So put it aside. Just place it on top of the stove where the stove is warm. And
exactly.
oh, by the way, we want to cover the top because we don't want the top to become crusty.
So cover it?
Yes, you can cover it with a damp tea towel or something. Maybe this.
Oh, okay.
We damp it. Yeah, moist towel also so it don't become too crusty.
Right.
I like this dough, boy. This can make a nice dumpling. So now, to my little bit of dough, I'm adding a 1/4 cup of coconut cream. And I'm adding, let me measure this water.
Quarter cup of coconut cream.
Oh yes, now we can add a little lime juice. So between I'm adding a little. Yeah.
So adding
So
some
this is what I
coconut
have here.
cream.
Yeah, so I added a quarter cup of coconut cream. And notice you're freehanding. I notice when I say no measurement.
How many for this one?
I hope you can replicate the recipe or know what to fix later on. So
That's the only thing I
here
can
I've
measure.
got a quarter.
Remember, we said we experimenting with this one.
And that's why you should write down every step. So what I have here is a quarter cup of molecular honey water, and then I add the lemon juice to it as well. And it comes to about a quarter cup, and I'm going to add that.
Oh, all right. So quarter cup
I'm going to
cream.
mix it now with the spatula. I'm attempting to get a more liquid mixture. And if we have another small
And
pan, we can
how much?
grease it. Grease it.
How much lemon juice?
Oh, maybe about a tablespoon, but it's just a little bit added to the honey water, just to make up everybody to quarter cup.
Okay.
And we
That's
have the
fine.
little draining of flaxseed right there, so that
That's fine.
So I'm making I'm trying to make a more liquidy mixture.
Yeah. You can make it here, then just try funny. So when you want water,
Which is not looking bad. Here it is. It's a runny butter. You're seeing that?
yeah, I need to get my water, so
And I'm gonna add.
let me get my honey.
So I can taste this mixture. I'm gonna taste this little bit here and see if I would add some more salt. What? This mixture tastes good, man. It doesn't need no more salt. But I need only just a pan to put this in. And
Coconut cream, lemon juice, honey.
so
You said you're supposed to put flaxseed again?
so when I had sieved mine, I had a little bit left in the strainer that I didn't push through. So
yes.
that's what I throw in there.
Oh, I enjoy mine.
Feel free to put a teaspoon. Feel free to put something like a teaspoon in it.
Okay. Was it? All right, I'm getting there.
So I've just added to this little bit over here that I've added the water to. I've just added maybe a quarter teaspoon. I've just added a little bit extra baking powder, about a quarter teaspoon.
Okay. Let's see.
This smells good, looks good. We need a small pan. We have one over there.
Honey and baking powder, you said.
Sorry, somebody saying it?
No, I'm just repeating. Honey and baking powder, you said.
Yes, like a quarter teaspoon.
Oh, baking powder. Okay, no worries.
So I'm getting my other pan ready So what I've got here though is a foil pan. So I'm gonna do my my greaseproof paper different for this one. I'm just gonna use the whole thing, this whole sheet in it. But I'm gonna wet my pan.
And then honey.
So if you find yourself one day you want to bake and you don't have sufficient oil, you just wet the pan and then you push the greaseproof paper down in it. It will help to hold it. You don't hold it as good as the oil. The corners I try to make, I don't know what you call that, but I try to fold the corners so I can get a nice little square without having all friends going around. Somebody dropped out or somebody just coming in?
Okay. Maybe you'll be making this one really runny, ain't it? And then keep my running. We're making it really runny.
Not really. Look at my mixture. I'm pouring it in now. Everybody look at this mixture, please. Because the psyllium husk is gonna keep swelling up back, you know, because of the psyllium husk.
It might need to be a little runny.
So just keep mixing. If it is too runny, keep mixing.
Yeah.
And use a spatula and wipe it out. Leave. I mean, my pan is a little bit too big. My pan is a little bit too big, but it's sitting in the bottom. All right, so now you want to get things like your little pumpkin seed and your little sunflower seed and your little what you call it, sesame seed. Sprinkle some seed on the top of your bread.
Okay. So
yeah.
Look at this, please. Is it runny?
Okay.
It's not runny enough.
It's not run.
No.
No, it's okay. Use it, or if you want to add a little bit, but just quickly add it in the pan. Don't keep adding liquid, otherwise tomorrow and it's still cooking.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna just add it in my pan now.
Yes. Okay, wonderful. So this one, I'm not putting any, what you call it on it, you know, I'm not putting any oil on the top of this one. I'm not smoothing over this one. Boy, I don't know if anybody else having these little plagues, but I'm being plagued with ants since the mango season start.
Well, you can't have everything. You have mangoes. You have mangoes. You don't have any.
Ants are working on the counter here, and the ants them start coming following the flaxseed. So I've sprinkled a little handful of pumpkin seed on the top and a little handful of sunflower. Have we got any flax? Not flax. Sesame. Poppy seed are nice on breads and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the other bread that is over the oven. Look at your bread. Look at your bread. Tell me if it's rising nicely.
I'll check. Yeah. Okay.
Let's make some other pumpkin. Sorry, no more. All right. Oh, let me put a little flax. I'm gonna share a picture with you shortly.
So we put in some
Oh,
seeds in.
camera. There it goes.
Right, let me get my seeds.
Interesting.
Hmm? Don't be on the pitch.
All right, so I'm gonna be showing you
Oh,
our two breads.
I'm just
Oh,
sprinkling my seeds.
bread seeds.
Yeah.
Sim. Sister Sim. All right, I don't know if you're able to see my camera.
Let me see.
Let me, here we go. See, my bread has risen nicely.
I'm alive, sister. I just don't know how to unmute this mic. It's all right, but I'm here. Jeez. So hard.
Okay, all right. So I just trying you on mine, and we're gonna stick it in the oven now.
So we're gonna put
And I
everything.
believe we're gonna put, well, maybe we can leave it to rise a little. The last one,
We're not
to leave
home.
to be rise a little bit. Doesn't work out. Wonderful. So I'm very happy with the breads that we have put in. Now we need to clean our stations, and so we haven't put them in yet. No, we put them back on the stove just to rise a bit.
So
Go
we
ahead,
should
Sister
should
Elvira.
we put everything? Should we put it in the oven now? Everything.
No, let it put it on top of the stove. Sit down and cover it up. Let me show you ours.
No, I mean the first one. Should we put the first ones in the oven?
I mean, you could put it, or you could wait and put both of them at the same time.
All right, no worries. That's okay.
Turn the camera. You see it, man? You see them? Look
No,
on
you
the
turn it.
camera that says maybe Natural Remedies Kitchen.
Oh, we have to
It's
go
sitting
into
on
the
top
kitchen.
of the stove at the moment.
Okay, but I don't see anything.
All right, let me spotlight it's my other phone. Do you
Yeah,
see my
because
other device?
no. Well, I don't know if anybody could see, but I can't.
I'm looking for it to spotlight.
We're
I,
seeing it, sis.
I can see you, Davina. We can,
Right.
yes.
Okay.
Sis may need to go on gallery view.
Yes, I did that. Yeah.
Are you seeing it now?
I see it covered.
Right, so we're just resting them on top of the stove. So it's the heat starts to helps to activate the raising
All
agents in
right.
it more,
Oh,
and just giving it a little bit of time to rise before we put it in the oven, and obviously for the starch to also absorb the water.
all right.
Yes. So now while that is sitting over there, we're gonna start the next bread lie. Is this you now?
Yes, I can do the quinoa flatbread now.
Just give us a minute or two. We're not going to put it in the
Yeah.
oven yet.
All right. No,
No,
don't
We're
put
just
it in
going to
the
take
oven
it
yet.
rest for now.
no, we're not putting it in
Huh?
the oven.
No, don't put it in the oven yet. Just put it aside. Put it on top of the stove. Just sit down and just cover it with a moist tea cloth. Or not, what you call it, paper towel. Just damp the paper towel a little bit and use that to cover it.
All right, give
I
us
think
1 or 2 minutes before Sister Lois.
Yeah, man, no problem.
I put mine with the paper towel and stick to it.
Uh-huh.
I had covered mine with that paper towel, and when I try to look, take it up, it stick. It come off on it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Take off
So
with
I'm
the
not,
mixture, sister. Take it right back off.
but I don't take it off already.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Well, I use, as you see, the J cloth that we use, and the mixture is still down in the pan.
Yeah, I understand.
So if anyone had soaked their quinoa,
Yes, I had mine soaked.
all right, so this is the time now to use it.
All right. I have mine here soaked.
How are we? Are we all tidied away now?
Yeah.
I can see. We're good?
Yes, Sister Lois.
Okay,
Yeah.
wonderful. I hope everyone is having a good morning or afternoon, wherever you are.
Yeah.
So the second one we want to share with you is a very simple and quick flatbread. I'll show you what I have. So earlier I did mine, so I have a little sample to share with you. I'm gonna hold it up so you can see. Can you see? Sorry, let me
Yeah.
take my gloves.
Are you
Um,
able to take a picture or have somebody
I'm
hold
sure,
or hold it
well,
off the
today
plate?
I will share a photo, but I'll have to share it when I'm through because today I'm using my phone as my camera.
Okay.
So I'll share the photo when I'm finished, if that's okay. Right. So what I have is this one.
Mm-hmm.
You can see.
Yeah.
I'm going to lift
Nice.
it up. You can see that it rolls quite nicely. So I have I managed a little roll up from it. So it's a nice, gives a nice stretch.
Mm-hmm.
And one moment, sweetheart. One moment. Excuse me, can you do this for me, please? Take this one for her. You give some to her so I can finish here. Thank you. Okay. Thanks very much. All right. And then I'll show you what I've cut it just into little squares so you can see. Can you
Nice.
see? Yeah. So it's a lovely little
Yes.
flatbread. Now,
Yeah.
the quinoa that we're going to use, you can use either your brown quinoa or your white quinoa, whichever one you prefer. And you need just 1 cup of it. And so for this, you're going to need to have your blender. You can use the regular blender or you can use a bullet. Anyone will do. We're going to put all the ingredients in and then blend it together. Let me set that aside. So you need essentially 4 ingredients. 1 cup of your quinoa, soaked. If you've soaked it already, that's okay. I might check then with you how much water you have in it, because we need in total about 1.5 cups of water. I did mine earlier with a couple cups of water, and I found that even though you saw that lovely consistency, the texture inside is slightly too moist. So I think we're going to go 1.5 cups of water, 1 cup of quinoa, a teaspoon of onion powder for some flavoring. And if you do want to, you can add in some salt. So a half teaspoon of salt or so. And that's it. So you're going to put all of that into a blender jug or your bullet, and then we're going to blend it together until it's smooth. Okay. So that's what we're going to do now.
So
Should I repeat the proportions again?
I have a problem because I soaked this 300 grams of quinoa.
Okay, so that's all right. So 1 cup is 250 grams. So if you
Right.
have
So it's not bad. It's not bad then. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
hmm?
Yeah.
So you
So I just,
basically have, say, 1.5 cups. So what you
yeah.
do then is pour all of that, if you're happy to use it all up, pour
Mhm.
it all into your blender.
Do I take
And
the
when
water off? I have a little water that I soaked it. Do I keep it or throw it?
I think how much water is that on top? It's about 1 cup.
No, not much.
All right, so I would put the whole thing in and just blend that
I'll see what happens.
without adding any additional water.
Okay. I'll try that. So that plus.
It's, okay. So so yours would have softened up quite nicely already.
So I don't have onion powder. Could I use garlic powder?
Oh yes, it's just to add some flavor.
Oh, okay. All right. No
So
worries.
Sister Sylvia, because
Yes,
I
my.
don't know how much water you put with that quinoa, you see the bit that's on the top?
Yeah, pour it
Pour,
out.
pour it out first and then
Yeah.
blend whatever is left in there. If you need to, you can add it back. You just want it to be like a pouring
I
consistency,
understand. That
like a
makes sense.
pancake mix.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I'm gonna
So
take
because
it out.
I do not know how waterlogged that is. Wouldn't want your bread
Oh,
to be too soft.
exactly.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
want something. You know something? I'll strain it off. I'll strain it.
Let's see. Um,
Make sure I get out all the water.
so this is going to be quite straightforward. So you can go right ahead and blend when you're finished, if you've put everything together.
Okay. So it's just that.
And half a teaspoon of salt.
And play this blender one. Hope you blend it, you know.
So you can add any, you can add if you like a bit of onion powder and garlic powder, you can put them together. It's entirely
Yeah.
up to you. You can also add maybe some mixed herbs if you want to have a little additional flavoring to it. The one I did earlier, I put in a teaspoon of mixed herbs as well.
Oh,
But this is all optional and to your own taste. Okay, and water.
some mixed herb and,
All right, so once you've done your water, just go ahead and blend.
some salt.
Now I'm using a smoothie maker to do my, well, it's a blender, but it took me about a minute, just about a minute. And then the mixture was just at the right consistency. So you may, if you blend and you want to stop and check, depending on how powerful your blender is, a minute or two should do it. You should see the grain start, especially if you've soaked it already, yours will blend more easily. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Can only see Sister Sylvia. I don't know who else is giving this a try.
This, I've blended a cup of quinoa. Then
Yes.
I add a cup and a half of water.
You put a cup of quinoa in the blender and added a cup and a half of water to it. Yes. You're blending them together. Or you
Okay.
made it into flour first?
Yes, I made it to flour first.
Okay, that's all right. That's okay. But you could have saved yourself time and just blended it all together. But that's okay. It's good. That's good. And then you want to add some flavorings as well? You can add a bit of salt and some garlic powder if you like.
I am the one that had told her to blend it separate as a flour.
Ah,
Yes.
okay. That's cool. That's cool. Let's see. The reason I'm doing mine twice is I realized I measured out my cup and then I realized I only measured half a cup. So it wasn't a whole, there wasn't my cup measure. So I'm just adding my other half a cup of quinoa in there.
So it's just the quinoa alone you put in it, and that you would bind it.
Yeah, that's it. Remember I said it was very simple.
But this does not mine look like it.
Mine is still going. Let's see yours. I think it's quite thick. It needs to be. This is still very. I think you can add more water. It needs to be runny. I'll show you mine.
Okay. And I was saying it's too thick. Okay.
So you can add the water in now to
All right. I don't get to.
just because we didn't know how much water you had there, but you can add more.
Yes, I understand. That's the same.
Okay, so
I don't get to.
I'll show you.
Add more water, Sister Sylvia.
I'm gonna
I-
pour mine. Look.
Oh, that's running.
Yeah,
Oh, so I did that.
Yeah.
it's quite a liquid batter. It is quite a liquid batter.
All right. Let me
So
just
you
add.
can add maybe a couple another cup of water into that, I
Yeah.
think.
Okay. I'll add at the time. 'Cause
Yes, and observe it as you're blending. Okay, so you want it to be nice and smooth. Once it's smooth and the grains have all sort of blended out and you're getting a smoothie-like consistency, and you're happy to go. So you need to line a baking tray. I'll show you what I've done with mine. With some parchment paper, or if you have grease-proof paper. The reason is when you've baked it, it will be nice for you to be able to flip it over and just peel the paper away. And then your mixture would not have burnt. And also, I find that it just saves you the cleaning up of the pan. You could always grease, but it gives a better result. If you just use some paper, if you have it at your disposal.
I was blending, so I missed that information about the paper. I think this is running. Yeah, I think this is this maybe it's running enough, I believe.
Let's see.
You want me to?
No, just leave. Oh, yes, that looks okay now.
Yeah,
I can see from the side.
yeah, you're running.
Yeah, now it's moving. Yes. So then you're gonna take some. I have baking paper here, whatever, non-stick baking paper
Yeah, I
that you
have
had
some.
before. Yes. And you want to line your pan. You're going to spread the mixture out onto it.
Okay. All right.
So we're gonna bake this one. So you need to bake it at about 400 degrees, 400
Okay.
degrees, or about 200 degrees Celsius, or gas mark, medium oven, just about medium. So I'm going actually a bit more. I'm going 200. I'm going to go 200 Celsius, which should be about gas mark 4 to 5 if you have. I
Lloyd?
did. I did. I did that in mine
Lloyd?
earlier. Yes, Davina, I
Yes.
did.
I am gonna suggest that we keep the gas mark where it is at the moment because we have two breads to
Yeah.
go inside. So we can now
Okay.
put three breads inside. Yes.
All right. So
Oh,
400. It was 400 degrees Fahrenheit, 200 Celsius, or medium, just above medium oven. Or gas mark 4 to 5. I'm not sure how your ovens are.
I have to get my thing.
Actually. Yeah, so you're just going to put would you put a teaspoon, Davina, of the psyllium huskin if you want to add
how many
it
cups of
into
flour
help
did
with
you
binding?
use?
Just one.
Yeah, I wouldn't put a full teaspoon, a little less than a teaspoon.
Uh-huh.
No,
Okay.
and more than half.
More
Close
than
to
half.
one
Okay.
teaspoon. Yeah.
So if you want to add in some additional help for the binding, you can put some psyllium husk. Maybe Davina is saying 3/4 of a teaspoon.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. No, and that's it. Once you've done that, just pour it on. I'm gonna bring my because again on this phone. So you're gonna just pour it in your pan, like I'm
Yeah.
doing there. You can see, yes.
That's quick and easy.
And that's it. And once you do that, you just spread it over the pan evenly. And then once your oven is preheated, then we can put it in. You're going to you'll bake
So,
this one. This will be ready first. You only need to bake it for about 20 to 25 minutes. And
So
it
now we
will be
can put all the breads in the oven
at the same
okay.
time.
I
together.
know,
But
I
if
know
we
this.
open the oven to take out the flatbread, won't it interfere with the rising of the other one?
Well, by 25 minutes, the other bread should be fine, wouldn't it?
So
Okay.
I
Yeah.
noticed we did not put any oil or anything in the quinoa, nothing.
No, there's no
Don't need
oil. I
any.
mean, if there's no oil in there, but if you want to,
Okay.
I have in the past I have put a little olive oil, but again, it's not necessary. This
Okay, no
works.
worries.
This works just as it is.
Okay, that's fine.
This is the simple. This is the quick version.
Yeah, I realize that. Let's put in
Yeah.
a little food.
So it
Quick
works. It works
oil-free
quite.
version.
Sorry, dear?
As a quick oil-free version. So if you have clients
Yeah.
with high cholesterol, etc., that you're just trying to, help them to sort things out quickly, these are recipes that you can put on your meal plan.
Yeah, and it's quick. Yeah.
Absolutely. Very, very simple. Simple and quick.
Gluten-free, yeast-free, soy-free,
Mhm.
dairy-free, egg-free, heart healthy.
Absolutely. The-
And you will tell us if it is tasty.
You know something
yeah.
when you know in the Bible when they said those like in Abraham and they have people come and they bake up bread quick. Maybe it's
Unleavened bread. Yes, yes, yes. Your unleavened bread.
bake bread fast. All
I
right,
made
so
this about a week and a half or 2 weeks ago. The only
Okay.
difference is I fried it. That was when I put it in the frying pan. That's the only, I didn't bake it.
Okay.
Yeah, man,
So, I
you're
mean, we were
good.
talking earlier, Davina. We were saying that you could actually do this on the stove
In the
top,
pan.
really. Yeah,
Yeah.
like you do a
Two ways.
roti, or like you do a pancake. You could do it in the same
Well, when
way.
I said fry, I didn't put a lot of oil, just a little
To
wipe
just
the,
to grease
the
the
pan
pan.
out a bit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
You could do it that way. So it's more like a pancake sort of. You could do it that way, or you could do it in a non-stick pot without oil.
Without oil at all. Yes.
Yeah. But the quality is much nicer with a little oil.
How long are
But
we
we're just
giving
showing you the
the?
different options.
Oh,
I should
sorry,
have
Angelina.
taken pictures. That would have been one of my homework finished. But
no,
I didn't take no pictures.
well, you have to start from scratch now. Right.
Yeah.
So bread
So
is
then
in the oven.
so put it in the oven now. Everything now.
All three, yes.
That's all in.
All three,
Okay.
Sister Sylvia.
Okay.
So, sorry. So, chef, how long are we giving the regular bread, the slice of bread?
Anywhere between when it's cooked, we will look out for the smell. And when we're taking that one out, we can just test it. Let's see, maybe 25, maybe 40 minutes, I want to believe, would do it. 45 minutes.
Okay. Okay. So you can set your timers for 20 minutes initially, and or 25 minutes initially to check the flatbread is ready. You start to smell it actually when it's cooked.
Oh,
You
yes,
get
you
a
do.
nice aroma coming from the quinoa, and then you know that it's ready. And then you leave the other bread inside. So because we're taking the quinoa out first, I've put it at the top of my oven, and then I've put the bread in the middle shelf.
Yeah.
Because the top of the oven would be hotter, wouldn't it?
Yes, I put mine at the top
Yes.
this week. So
Yes.
25 minutes from now. Let me see now.
Yes, that's right. All right, lovely. That's it. So we'll see what happens. So Davina, we are looking at any other bread now while we're waiting?
No.
Yeah, the
No.
last bread. I'm just trying to share it.
Okay. While Davina is finding the recipe, let me just add, when your bread comes out of the oven, leave it on the stove top for about 5 to 10 minutes, just so that it cools down a little bit. And then you'll find that when you flip, you can then flip it over and gently peel the parchment paper from the back of it. So it won't stick. But if you try to take it off, sometimes if you try to remove the paper right away, you'll find that it will stick to the flatbread. So just leave it a few minutes to rest, and then you can peel away the paper more easily.
Okay.
The recipe can also make some biscuits,
Mm-hmm.
crackers, some flat crackers.
Okay.
Boy, I'm trying to get this how I did do it the first time. I'm trying to share. Oh boy, I'm not. How did I get that thing to share before, God? Pass the phone there for me, please. Let me see what they're able to see because I'm not seem to be getting this thing. Thank you. Okay, so you're all seeing the naan bread.
Yes.
You're all seeing the naan bread.
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
But
But somehow
I
I
am not
am not
able
able
to
to
see it.
see it.
How
How
can I
can I
not
not
see it?
big?
If you can scroll up just a bit.
Somehow I'm not able to um I'm not able to
Would you like me to share it from the
yes please, Loy.
PowerPoint? Okay.
Yes, please. Yeah. So everybody, you ready? You clean up and ready for the last bread?
Yeah.
All right, wonderful. Anyone who are just joining, you ready to make this bread? So it's the naan bread, the millet naan bread. And if you don't have millet and you have cassava flour,
Yes.
you can use cassava flour instead. Or if you have any other flour, just let me hear what flour you have. If you don't have any of those that I've just mentioned, let me hear what flour you have that we could use for this recipe. Man, I can't wait to eat a piece of this naan bread.
Lavina.
Yes, yes, Sai, is that you?
Yeah, I'm going to the country on Tuesday. Please leave peace for me, please. And pass your way for it.
But just set up myself.
And I'm bringing guests. I'm bringing two of my friends. They're going to the range. They're going to shoot.
Um, sis, we can't see the
Yeah.
screen. I can't see the screen. It's too small and it's not in the group.
It is
Oh
in
yes, it is in the group.
it is in the group.
It's
Really?
And then the group.
yeah.
Yeah, it
Let
is
me
in the group.
highlight it in the group. But something has come on top of the screen, Loy. I wonder if it is mine or yours. Oh, it's
I
mine.
can
Sorry.
see it. It is good. Um, millet flour, cassava flour. I have, oh, well, I just pick it up.
It's a blank 14.
Yeah.
This is everything I just used a while ago.
Oh, you've used your millet already?
No, man, I don't have millet. So I had cassava, the cornstarch, everything. It's the same thing like what I just did a while ago.
So you use of all of them in, or you have little left?
I have a little left, man.
Or if you have any other flour, tell me what else you have.
Only the dasheen flour.
So yeah, man,
So
let's
what
try with the dasheen flour. So we use your dasheen flour. Anyone else?
I have cassava flour and I have, this is saying chickpea gram flour. Is that the says
That's a
made from
chickpea
chickpea?
flour.
Yeah.
All right. So if you want, you can. I wouldn't use a chickpea flour.
Okay,
That
so
way,
I'll stick with the cassava then.
yes, use a cassava. Anybody else have any on a flour?
the only problem, sis, is if we don't have the coconut cream or the vegan yogurt, what are we going to use? Can we use the
You
coconut
have
milk?
soya milk,
Can we use coconut
soya or
milk?
coconut milk. Yes.
I don't have soy milk, I have coconut milk.
Yeah, man, that's good. Homemade.
No, it's frozen. It's just a
Okay, the
coconut
one
milk
in the.
blended and frozen in the supermarket. They just says coconut milk
It's a
blended and
fresh one.
frozen.
It's yes, I know that one in a little clear plastic with like a brown writing
Yeah.
on it. Yeah, that can work.
Okay.
Anyone else have any quick question before we start whipping things up together? All right, let me move myself back to my kitchen and get up.
Coconut cream or plain vegan yogurt.
All right. All right, so we have ours at what, 245? 245. 245. All right, so grab your ingredients. My kitchen here, we're gonna use some. We don't have no millet, but we have cassava flour, which we haven't used as yet. And some psyllium husk. And I think that's our breadfruit flour.
What?
That looks like grass, no?
And it's of psyllium.
Okay. Let me put the camera back on. Trying to find myself. All right. So we are going to be following the recipe like before. So you put I'm using cassava flour. We're mixing ours with cassava, and I have a little bit of spelt I just want to use up. We're not sifting this, just pour it in.
Okay, 2 cups.
Yeah, 2 cups.
Of flour, right? Okay.
Yeah, so to make up our 2 cups, we're using a little spelt. You're able to see me? I don't know.
No, can't see. Oh, maybe I'm supposed to go someplace else to see.
All right, so we're using a little spelt mixed with our cassava.
Yeah.
Just to make up the number to the 2 cups of flour. And we want to mix our 2 flour in. We're going to add some psyllium husk. So
Yeah.
we're going to add about 1.5 teaspoons of psyllium husk. Psyllium. So I would don't use 2 to 3 teaspoons of psyllium husk. Please use 1.5 teaspoons of psyllium husk. We had some flax. 1.5, maximum 2, but we definitely don't want 3 teaspoons. And we're not sifting anything for this one.
2 teaspoons of psyllium husk.
Yeah, what flour you say you're using again? Cassava?
Yeah.
2 is fine. 2 teaspoons of psyllium husk is fine.
Okay. Okay, and baking powder.
All right, and then what's our next ingredients?
We have salt, a teaspoon of salt here.
Okay, yes, so salt. We're using a little pink salt in ours.
Yeah, me too. Okay, I have.
So we're using 1 teaspoon. Is 1 teaspoon, miss? Yeah, we're using 1 teaspoon of salt.
And coconut cream or plain.
If you don't have coconut cream, you just use your plant-based milk.
Yeah.
How much cups of coconut cream? It calls for 1 to 2 cups of coconut cream. We don't have so much here. We
No.
just have maybe about 1/4 cup of coconut cream. So
Yeah.
we're just going to use some plant-based milk.
And add to it. Okay.
So we do the
The
mix
almond
that
milk
we
is okay, sis? Almond milk too?
Yeah, I'm using milk because I have only 1/4 cup of coconut cream. You
Me
can
too.
use water, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, but the cream make it taste nicer, or the milk.
Yeah, that's what I'm using out mine out of my box.
All right, in terms of the liquid, we want a dough. We're making a dough. Let me see if I can share any additional pictures with you. I'm gonna let me see how that goes.
Baking powder. Where it is now? 2 teaspoons.
I will be sharing I'm cutting the screen. So this is the dough.
Yeah.
Right. That's a texture that we're looking for when we need this, right? So we want to add the water gradually, or the liquid gradually.
Okay. Now we go put in. Go back to the thing. Do we put in any honey in it? I can't remember what I see there. No?
Hold on, I'm opening it up so I can see, so I can tell you in the meantime.
Okay, my dear.
You add a little 1 teaspoon or so of sweetener.
No. So it's supposed to do that now. Okay. I'll do that now. This is that.
We want we need. We want a dough like
Um,
this.
Lavina,
Yes, there.
hi, just interjecting. If we haven't already, do take your flatbreads out of the oven now.
Let me see.
Okay, so time to take a look at your
Right.
flatbread.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just probably take them out. It's about right. It's about time.
All right, so you want your coconut cream, you want your 2 tablespoons of olive oil, or coconut oil, or sesame seed oil goes nicely as well. Tablespoon of
oh,
sweetener, a little honey.
yeah,
Or
flatbread, yeah. But most of the
that's fine, because that's a sweetened milk. So for those who might be using the soya milk that is already sweetened, or a plant-based milk that is already sweetened, you don't need no additional. Like dumpling. You don't need any additional sweetener. That should be sufficient if you have a milk that is already sweetened.
how much olive oil you say?
2 tablespoons olive oil.
Okay, right.
Now the recipe also baking powder, but it's also just to let you know that it is optional. Just that it will take your recipe longer to rise, and it might not be as soft and as pliable. So if you don't have the enough oh, by the other way, the other thing that you could have used, if you don't have the coconut cream, you could have blend out your tofu and use it. But if you don't have that, you probably want to add a little of the baking powder.
Okay. So I think I have everything.
I smell our bread. You smell it? Smell good. Let me just quickly look at our bread. We don't have any flat bread doing.
Can you bring back flatbread now? Come on.
Wow. Very nice. So remember, you want to knead it so you have a dough similar to what is on the screen. You added your psyllium husk? Yes, we did.
So we can start to mix, bring it together now.
Yes, man, knead it with your hand, or if you have a dough mixer. Olive oil, let me give you some olive oil. Or coconut oil, anyone can use. So I think we've got all the ingredients in. You need now just to knead it to form a dough like you're making some dumpling.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it together first.
Yeah, until all the flour wipe away from the corner, but knead, squeeze it through your fingers.
Yeah.
Make sure all the moisture get into those what you call it? The grains, right? Because remember, gluten-free flour is not the same like your normal flour. You have to put extra work in it. It looked like it could even take a little drizzle of psyllium husk. So we're gonna add a half a teaspoon of psyllium husk to ours because I can see where it could hold together a little bit better. I want to get a smoother consistency. Half a teaspoon, couple of pinches, something like that. So ideally you want to make a set of soft to sticky dough. So here I'm gonna open my camera and show you what we have, but I'm gonna add water to it. So the camera that says Davina, the one where the bread is on, I'm gonna take that dough off the screen. I'm gonna flip the camera. Maybe it needs to be spotlighted. Let me spotlight it.
You see, because this is not right.
All right, so we're seeing this dough. It's soft, right? Let me feel it. Okay, it feels good, but we want it even a little bit softer than this, right? So I'm gonna add a little bit more milk.
Yeah, I'm careful. Just let me come on.
So a little bit about naan bread. Naan bread is a traditional Indian bread.
Sis, sorry
Normally
to
baked.
interrupt. It's time for the other flatbread to come out now.
But the flatbread.
Yes, the one that Lloyd did it. You smell it now. You smelling it, sis?
The thing is, with my flatbread is going to be
Yeah.
thick bread.
Well, if it look like it ready, if you smell it and you look at it and it look like it ready, then it's time for it to come out.
Mine is too thick.
It's too thick.
My flatbread is not flat. It's too thick because maybe my pan was not
As wide. All right,
long
that's fine.
enough.
Leave it in there longer. Leave it in there longer.
Yeah, yeah, I have to do that. But the bread they raised it nicely.
Yes, I just saw mine and they're feeling nice.
Yeah, yeah.
So are you seeing this mixture? I want you to see this on our screen. It feels good, doesn't it? You see this? She enjoying the dough. So this is what your dough really should be like. A nice, soft, pliable dough. You don't want it too firm. You could get it sticky, but not too sticky. You can put some oil on your hand too. But if your dough is sticky, you put some oil on your hand. Yeah, feels good. And we can always test one anyway.
The thing is, Davina, the thing is, with my dough, look how it breaking apart easily.
Add some more psyllium husk to it. That's why we added extra half a teaspoon of psyllium husk.
So add it to it now in that.
Yes,
Okay.
add it to it now. We just not too long added it to ours. So that's why we now get this consistency, which you see it's more like normal flour.
Yeah.
But you see, without the psyllium husk, you see how it's breaking and can't hold together?
Yeah.
Because there's no gluten in it. So the psyllium husk has now replaced the gluten.
All right, I'm gonna sprinkle some psyllium husk on it.
Yeah, just a half a teaspoon. Was that the measure? I just used a quarter. Actually, it was a quarter teaspoon I used.
Okay.
Yeah. And I added a little bit more milk. So we're gonna get our cutting boards and this in a ball.
Yeah. No, it's all right.
Just rub it on the outside. Yeah. So What we're gonna do now, we're gonna form. Let me see if I can find a cutting board. Bear with me. Uh-oh.
That is not. I think I want to do. I guess it all right. Oh, I wonder.
Man, the bread smell good.
It's not. It's
Let me turn this around. So,
type of flow not coming in. I might just.
how you getting it? Let me see it.
It is. It breaking to. I suppose it's the type of
Let
flour.
me see it. Add a little bit more water to it. It's breaking apart still.
Yeah. Afraid that the water gonna make it worse. Add water or milk, which one?
No, the water not gonna make it worse because we need it to be a sticky dough or soft dough.
So add water or milk, which one?
Milk. We using milk over here.
All right, if you have a milk, I'll add something.
All right, so there's something you have is giving me a problem, and I'm not sure. All right, so you can see back in my kitchen here. So here in my hand is my ball.
Yeah.
You can make your ball softer. You can make it stickier. If it is too sticky for you to manage it, what I do, I put oil on my hand. This might be a little bit much, but I put my oil on my hand and I use it to be able to handle my dough. So if the oil is on your hand, you can handle your dough easier, right? If it is too sticky. So I if you
And
have a
first,
cutter, we need a
everything.
knife. A knife would be good. So once you have your knife, I'm just rubbing the oil on my hand, on my knife. Please, no blood. Don't draw any blood. So you have your dough here. You're
Yeah.
seeing mine?
Yes. I'm seeing it
That's better,
perfectly.
isn't it? That's better, right? So I'm going to cut
Yeah.
my dough in 8. Half. Remember, rub a little grease on your thingy. So just getting some coconut oil to use it as my grease, right? Because it's much cheaper than the olive.
Sister Davina, Can you tell me if
Yeah.
my dough is too sticky? It's my dough is too wet.
Let me get you on my screen.
I can't even find how to. Okay. It's a bit too sticky.
No, hold on, I don't see it yet.
I don't know why this
Is
don't
your
move in the
camera
direction I think
moving?
it should. See what's the texture
Can
of it?
highlight. Okay. Yes, it is sticky.
Right.
Do me a favor. Clean your hand off. Get all that dough back in, and put some oil on your hand, and then try to bring your dough together and see. I need to get you bigger so I can see you properly. Let me see your sister Clary, Sister Sylvia. All right, your dough look fine, Sister Sylvia. I just want to be able to see Sister Simone's dough. Let me get her.
Together.
Let me see
It's
if
too
I can.
sticky, sis. I think it's too sticky.
All right, so add yes, it's not needed yet.
Right.
You need to add a little bit more flour, one of your flours to it.
Okay.
So if you notice, I've just cut this in two, and I've got my knife turned the other way. But I'm gonna wait for Sister Sim. Let us check our bread now. If you've got a skewer, we're probably gonna use a toothpick. Or I don't know if we can find any of those long metal skewers. I'm supposed to have one somewhere. But when you stick it in there, or if you have one of them thermos thing. All right, let us try and find something to check ours, and then we tell you what we use. I guess we're going to use a knife. Man, my bread don't have no color on the top yet, but the bread feels good. All right, so one of my bread is ready by all means.
Let me check mine.
Perfect. So we need to be doing the test in the camera. We're bringing them closer to the camera to test them. Watch these ants, man. Sure.
I'm checking mine in the oven now.
Yes. But it needs to be cooled first. But let me test this inside of this. Breads are ready. Breads come up smooth. Knife comes up clean like a whistle. See, nothing has come up on my bread. Bread is definitely ready. Let me just taste the little edgings.
You check it with a knife? What you check it with?
I check it with a knife. I can't find nothing else.
All right. So let me see mine.
I just see the little edge and it tastes like fried dumpling.
I think mine need a little more doing.
Okay. A little bit more doing. Well, we're gonna see how this, wow, feels good out here on the outside here feels really good. Looks good, but we're gonna just leave it to cool. So you see how my little contraption works well? Look at this in my hand. So we're gonna set it aside, let it cool. So how long did that take? Maybe about 40 minutes. And can't see the time on this. Got it, got it, got it, got it. Oh, 127. And we put it in at 12:45. So that's about 43 minutes, thereabout. So here we go now. This is how are you now, Sister Sim, with your dough? We need some non-stick.
I don't know what mine is doing here, but
Huh?
mine is here.
All right, so you put your oil on your hand and just roll it in a ball and then you cut it in half like that.
No, I haven't cut this in half yet. Okay. I'm gonna do that. Cut the dough. Right? Cut it in half.
Yes, so cut it in half and then we're gonna do another half this way.
Go ahead. You do yours. Let me see which way.
So we go the next opposite side now.
All right. So the whole dough
Now
also
we
is
have four.
All right, no worries. I'll do that.
Now we have 4. We need 8.
This I'm back. I was checking on my bread in the oven. Only the keema one is ready. The
How was
other two
it?
aren't ready.
That's fine. Let them take them time and soak. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let
So I'm
him
showing you
cook.
mine
Your
now.
bread? Okay, that's your bread.
That's my last dough now.
So test it. It doesn't look bad.
Yeah, it's better than it
Yeah.
was before.
All right. Oh, you need a little bit more cinnamon husk.
Okay.
Another half a teaspoon of cinnamon husk. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh boy, I'm upside down.
Oh, I forgot to turn the oven off.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anybody have any of their vegan butter.
Yeah, have a little here if it's there.
Good.
Um,
All right.
what am I doing here?
All right. So we've done 8. We've done 4. So we're gonna do another one this way. And then this way. So there you go. I've got my 8. My 8 pieces of bread.
Look at this.
Let me send a picture in the group for that.
Okay, let me see now. One this way. And one that way. Right. I got it now.
I sent it in the wrong group. Mercy.
Look at mine there.
Looks good.
That's it?
Looks good.
Right.
Ah. All right, there we go. So now you've got your 8, you're gonna take one piece out and you're gonna form a ball. And if it is too sticky, just as I said, add some oil to your hand and form the ball. So make your 8 balls. Form your 8
Davina,
balls.
you send it in the detox group.
Yeah?
You send the pictures in the detox group.
All right. Yes, wrong group. Let me go and delete that so I don't stimulate the wrong set of appetites. Oh, I sent all of them to the detox group, but what this man?
Right. So we're gonna roll it now?
Yes, and then you can roll them out, or you can press them out with your hands, or if you have a tortilla press, you can press them out with a tortilla. This dough, this butter here, can use to make tortilla wraps as well.
Okay, I'm watching what you're doing. I'm rolling mine.
Yes. So my things, they weren't 100% equal. So I have one here that's going to be smaller than the others and 2 that look bigger than the others.
Right.
So we're going to get some non-stick pots as well. So I'm going pinch a little from here, a little from there, and a little from there, from the big ones, and make a third one. And even with that, it's still big. So there you go. You've got 8 lovely looking doughs. Well, we've got 9 here. 9 lovely looking doughs. Now you are going to form or shape something looking like an naan bread. So it can be round or it can be oval. Let me share from one of my screen the recipe, and I believe it has images on it. Or better yet, let me share some screenshots from my phone. All right, I'm sharing some Google pictures with you.
Yep. Okay.
So this is your number 6, number 5, number 6. So if you had a sticky dough like number 6, that is fine. You see that dough? Sticky like that is fine. Just add some oil to your hand and you will be able to manipulate your dough.
Okay. I finished
See
my dough.
your balls there.
Yep.
All right, that's your balls.
Yeah.
We don't reach that stage yet. This is the stage we're at now. So we're gonna roll them out to, you can make them round, and as I said, there are other shapes, but I didn't there are other shapes that you could do them in. You could do them like pita bread. So I've got one here. Let me just use my hand and press. I might need to put some grease on my board. And a little on my hand, since I'm using my hand, just to show you one easy way. Put these guys over here out the way. Don't want them to dry out, so I can cover them with one of these. So normally you want to keep this.
See what you're doing actually right now. I'm seeing a picture, but I want to see what you have right now.
Okay, all right. So let's take it off.
Yeah, take up that so that I could see what you're doing.
Is you want me sharing it from over here? So okay.
Right. Okay.
All right. So look at that, man.
Okay,
Expensive coconut oil trying to go to waste. Huh?
Okay, I have one in my hand
Say
now.
that again.
So I have a
Yes.
ball
Okay,
in my
all right. You
hand,
have one
so-
in your hand. Here's
Right,
a
so
rolling
let me-
pin.
Okay.
We get your rolling pin. All right, I'm just pressing mine between my palm.
Yes.
Right, I'm pressing mine between my palm.
Yeah.
To shape it. So there I go. I get one shape. So this shape like a pita bread, more like a pita bread shape, right? And if you have so let me grease my board, even though it's not sticking, you know, but if your dough is sticky, you need to grease your board. I mean, obviously it's baking, you can always flour your board as well, but I don't have expensive flour to flour board.
So then you roll it with the rolling pin. Combine that, mine is kind of.
So I don't even have. Oh yes, yeah. I don't know. This is like a rolling pin. You know, it's a plunger for the blender, but I'm going to try. Clearly, you could use a bottle as well. All right.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
A round bottle. Can we get another plate, please?
Oh, this is pretty.
Yes, that is perfect. Yeah. So I'm gonna put mine on a plate now. Here I put the first one down, and then now the other thing I'm gonna do. You can make them and stack them on each other, but if your dough is sticky and you stack them on each other, they're gonna hold together. So what you can do is put a little piece of, cut some squares of greaseproof paper, or you can use a little piece of foil paper and put between to separate them.
Yeah.
So let me try with my homemade rolling pin. Backward, forward, nice. The pin give me a better roll than my palm of my hand.
Right.
You're getting a better roll as well too, Sister Sylvia?
Yeah, with the rolling pin, yeah.
Thank you for showing me that pin, sister, because that's the pin I'm using too. The Vitamix the plunger.
Yes. So look, we've got one piece of paper and then we just put in the next one on top of it there.
The thing is, my
Nice. Yeah.
I can't believe about it. Mine like is still splitting. Anyway, not gonna.
If it is splitting, roll it back with some liquid and a little bit more psyllium husk. It shouldn't split. You see how mine held together?
Yeah.
If it is split, it means it is too dry.
Yeah, I put some oil in it.
Don't be afraid to add the water.
Yeah,
Don't be afraid to add the liquid, right? Remember, it's sticky. The stickier the dough, the more pliable your thingy will be.
Yeah. I wet my hands. Like how.
Okay, all right. So when you roll them out, you don't want them too thin either. You want them so about 1/8 of an inch thick. So 1/8 of an inch would be about half of a quarter inch. right? Because you make them too thin and then they dry out and get hard and crispy. Which when you're making tortilla chips, that's fine. But for the bread, you want to be able to get some bubble in this when you put it on the fire. That looks good. Now I'm gonna use my tortilla press. So I've got a press, right? It's not too expensive to purchase, but because it's heavy, it's expensive to ship it in. I mean, now things change in Jamaica, so it might be different because I think I paid maybe 35 pounds for the press and then maybe about 80 pounds to get it inside, to get it here. Something like that, or 80 pounds altogether. But it definitely costed me more.
I'm checking my oven.
To ship. Huh?
I'm checking my oven.
I don't hear you.
No, I'm checking my oven.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
couple
of things about your press. If you own a press, whenever you use it, after you finish use it, oil it before you store it away, right? Otherwise it rusts on you. Alternatively, what you could also do is I put a piece of greaseproof paper on it, and then I'm gonna put my dough there. I'm gonna put another piece of greaseproof paper on the top. And then I'm gonna drop my top down and I'm gonna press. And I get a nice shaping disc. Look at this. And it comes up on the paper. So no problem, just drop the paper over there. All right. And if you make the doughs a little bit bigger, clearly when you press, you can get a full 8-inch or 7-inch. I think this might be a 7-inch, not sure. So let me do it. This one I've done it really big. I've spread it out a bit, so it's much bigger. And obviously, if you want, you could store them like that on the paper. And you know how easy it slips off.
I was checking my oven.
So I've got 2 balls left. But I tell you, I wonder if Noah was annoyed with these ants. Like I am. So look how easy it slips off. See how easy it slips off? So you can get it off it easily. Right? Even though we're keeping this one on this, drop it there. And we've got the last one left. I think this paper could serve for both. I think so your papers, right? You don't throw away your paper after you've used them. You put your paper up and you can reuse these paper again. Or you could always buy the pack of paper with them already cut. But clearly you could just cut it yourself. And when you finish using them, store them in a plastic bag. Bam, good. And we've got some non-stick pots on the fire. And you see this one, just for testing to show you something, I'm going to add more moisture to this. Any little bowl I can mix up.
Mine they're not gonna come out good today.
Huh?
I
No,
don't
no
think
worries.
mine's gonna be on par today.
Just add some more moisture to it, man. You know, once it not cooked yet, it still can fix.
Well, that is
So
what I'm doing. I'm putting some water on my hand here and trying to see.
okay. All right. So this last bowl that I have left, I've just put it in the bowl that I've just poured most of the milk out of. So it's quite wet, and I'm just re-kneading this to get it a little softer. Right? It can't spoil. Them do here can't spoil.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, we're gonna put fire underneath the pots now. And remember, this can always be done in the oven, but I'm showing you a shortcut, a quick way. Right? So it is sticky on my hand, right?
Yeah.
But I am gonna add a little oil. So right where I had my coconut oil spill, I'm getting that up. I've added a little oil on my hand, and I'm rolling my dough. So you see the sticky dough? I may maybe best take a picture of it. All right, so I'm gonna send these two sticky doughs in the groove. All right, putting my paper on, dropping that down, giving it a press. Nice gentle press. See, the softer the dough, you see how further out it press, how easier it is. One touch, and it spreads nice and thin.
Okay.
Yeah. So there we go. All right, and we're gonna clean up our thing. I'm just wiping it off. So I'm gonna, oh yeah, gonna put some grease on it. So you just want to make sure you wipe it off properly. Put some grease on it. Grease even the, try and grease every little corner of it. Top as well. You can close it and now leave it, or if you want to add one of these paper that doesn't have any food particle on it and leave it inside of it, you could. But there goes. We're gonna store this back up top. And if you notice, we didn't wash it. We just wipe it off. The least amount of times you can wash that thing, the longer it will last. So we have some pot over here that is hot. So I'm gonna transfer you to this side. Whoops. Let's see now. No, so trying to find a home for you so where the computer won't burn. All right. You're able to see 4 pots. I'm not sure about this one, but we can bring the breads over right here, please. No, this one. So they are low heat at the moment, but they're very hot. I can do with oil and I can do without oil. So it's always nice to actually grease the pans a little bit. So maybe borrow one of them, yeah, or some paper towel. I don't want too much grease because I don't want to fry it, right? So I just put the grease on my paper towel,
Mm-hmm.
Covering the bottom of the pot. Don't know if anything go on, but we'll know when we see the first bread. So here we go. I drop it in, paper is in as well, note. But here we go. You see, as it starts, if my paper sticks to my thing, right? Because maybe my thing was too thin. As it starts to heat through, I'll be able to slip the paper off easily. See that?
So where was the paper? On top or underneath?
Anywhere you want to put it. When we press them, we leave one paper on so we can stack them. Look,
Yeah,
so we
yeah.
have them stacked here.
No, when you put it in, so you put just like that in the
And on top, so I can take it off on top. So I'm turning it over. Look, this is the paper. I'm turning it over.
Oh, right. Okay,
Yeah.
no worries.
So there you go. Slip it right off. Like you're taking off your socks.
Okay.
Yes. And another one right there. So and now I'm gonna add a little oil to this pot, just show you. So a little bit more oil than what was in the other two. So one is without oil, two is just grease. You can't see any sight of oil.
Okay.
And this one now is gonna be, I mean, this is too much oil to be honest, yeah. So I'm gonna actually pour some of this out. You know this? Metal. There. Okay, perfect.
Mine did not be.
Yes, so there we go now. So I've emptied that out. I'm gonna put another one on. Whoops. See it drop off before it reach. There we go. All right, so you notice this one's coming through. Now we're waiting to see some bubbles come up. While we're waiting on that, we're gonna make the topping for this, right? And what we've got parsley. We've got cumin. We've got some cumin. We've got dried ones, and we've got the seeds. Maybe dry powder cumin is better. But if you have parsley, or if you have oregano, or if you have basil, or if you have mint, or scallion in our case right here, so in Jamaica, we have scallion, don't it? We have scallion. So we're going to melt a little butter, and we're going to chop up some scallion. And we've got dried oregano. So we'll chop up some scallion and a little dried oregano in our butter with some salt that we're going to have to brush this. Let me find the brush. There we go, a little food brush.
No, I'm not doing.
Don't fiddle them. Don't mess around with them. But you see, it's moving.
Mm-hmm.
You're waiting to see some bubbles start forming on the top. So if it wasn't mixture wasn't too dry, or if it's not too thin, you'll see the bubbles.
I'll have to do it.
Thyme. Ah. So we're going to use thyme and oregano. We're going to use thyme and oregano. And if you have mint, you can chop up some mint fine. And we have mint outside. We can chop up some mint with our thyme and our oregano, mixing our butter with our salt, and we're gonna spread it on the top. You can tell the foodie, eh?
Yeah. Mine ain't coming out right. What?
Yours is coming up. You getting bubbles?
No.
I don't start getting no bubbles yet either. We need to cook for about 3 minutes. And we'll probably start seeing some bubbles.
Oh, I'm gonna have to practice it again.
So if you have mint, or if you have basil, parsley, oregano, cilantro, and if you have them dried or fresh, pop them out. While these on the fire doing their thing, you're gonna get them out. So I'm just tempted to touch, but they're not ready for touch as yet. But you know how temptation goes already. The other thing is, I can always cover. I want to show you just one other little trick to it. I'm gonna cover, if I find a cover that is here. Perfect. I'm gonna cover one of them, and you'll see the difference with this and the others. Yeah. So we have our mint, smell nice. We're washing it around here, and we have thyme. So we have fresh thyme and we have fresh mint. We're gonna just swipe the leaves off the thyme and the mint, and we're gonna chop them up in the salt with salt, and we're gonna put that in our oil, in a little oil with some of our vegan butter that we made from coconut jelly. So these stoves are on medium, but I are on low, but I think I want to put somebody on medium. I can see one little bubble forming in this one over here. In this one here, I see one little bubble forming. I'll show you with my phone as soon as another couple of bubbles come up. Let's see what's going on over here. Not a thing. Let me put that a bit of.
I'm gonna have to this recipe. I'm gonna have to do it again because they're coming out like no, they're not. They're coming out like some kind of fritters or some kind of crap.
No, you put too much oil.
No, it's not the oil. No, I wipe the pan, but maybe it's the mixture. The mixture maybe not soft enough. Something. I'll have to practice it again.
So it's coming out what? Too hard?
Yeah.
No, you don't have to practice again. We're gonna fix it. Tell me, sis. Talk to me. Let me see one.
I'm gonna show you.
Yeah, because all you have to do is just take this and just put it under the water and run some water on it. Or sprinkle some water in the pot, and it gives you back pliability.
Watch here.
So it come up more like a pita bread.
Yeah.
And you fire your flame too high because me put on mine before yours. Or yours cooked before for me.
I don't understand because I see you are still there, like you don't know. You're not going
anywhere. Is a man sitting here like he's not going anywhere?
Yeah, because look, it's sure mine too must be too high. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, yours good.
And
Well,
I just turn it, but and let me show you something.
let me turn my,
I've never added milk, but I have some spare milk. I should have tried it.
I turn my fire down low now, but Lord have
Yeah.
mercy.
So patient man red donkey, me turning back my one down. So here I've got some water in my hand. I'm just sprinkling it on it. Just sprinkling it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's gonna make it back soft again and even more pliable.
So I should try that on mine then?
Yes, try it on yours. Yeah.
You mean put back in the same one?
The same one put back in, yeah? Because if you
Okay.
prepare this, right, and you freeze
Uh-huh.
them and you're ready to reheat them, we just say run it under the water or put it in the pan and sprinkle some water or put it in the oven and sprinkle some water and that's it.
All right. I'll put it back on the pan and sprinkle some water then.
Remember, keep this in mind. Gluten-free flours requires water.
Yes, it would appear. It cause it's dry. Okay.
So let's look at this one. Almost like nothing there, but something in there. But because I cover it, so it's getting a little steaming, it takes longer to cook, but then the quality might come out better.
Well, I put my stove is on the lowest.
Huh?
My stove is, I put it on the lowest now and see what happens.
Okay.
Try to get another one.
Let's see this guy over here. So that one, I'm going to pour a little water on it. So even though I've already put. All right, so I'm turning this back over. And even to it, I'm adding a little bit more water. All right. Man, they smell good. So look at the difference. You see, this is the one that didn't have any sort of greasing at all. You see the color, the texture, it's almost the same, but just like this one, you could tell it's a little bit shinier. Maybe a little bit browner. This look like it has been baked in an oven, like on a stone oven.
So what you did with that? You just put water or nothing? What you put in it?
This one I don't put
That
anything
one?
yet, just the pot and just the mixture. But I'm going to add water to it.
All right.
Yeah. So I just added a little water to increase the pliability of it. Sister Sim, how are you getting on? Are you run gone already? Time for me to check
Yes, they
this.
taste so good.
Ah, wonderful. So this is the one now that was covered from start. Can you see how longer it is taking to get the color?
Yes.
Yes. I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to add a little water to it as well. So what would I do different next time with this dough? I would make it way more sticky. You see, like how Sister Sim one was sticky? Very, very close to that. I would make it that sticky, right? I would just add the oil on my hand to be able to manage that dough to take it out of the pan. But softer and stickier gives you way more pliability.
Okay.
So look at this one. It's kind of hot. Whew. All right. Not quite ready for me to handle it yet. Still hot. I'm still catching a little bit more color on the next side. So, all right. Whew. That one need, I'm going to add a little bit more water to that. You can see where you see look like the flour look dry. Can you see that? I don't know what the lighting is like. Let's bring this up. Yeah. You see it? You see it good on the screen, right? Right. So because of that now, I would add some more water so this part can start cook some more. I don't want it to look like that. You can just maybe less. Is which one? Is this me just talk about? All right, that was this feels nice. Oh, is it me just talk about though? And this one, let's see. Oh, is this what you talk about? So that's quite a bit of water I just added here. Let's see how that comes out. It's going to be nice and flexible. Let's look at this guy over here. Very flexible, by the way.
Yeah.
Very bready flexible. Nonetheless, I'm going to add in some water. In fact, I've got a little bit of leftover milk. I am so tempted to add it to one of them. Never done that before. But Davina don't help herself much when it come on to experimenting in the kitchen.
Me too.
All right, so this is looking good. I'm getting bubbles. Let me get the thing a little closer. That's the computer I'm trying to move over. You see the little bubbles coming up?
Yep.
Nice. But boy, it take long to get there though.
That's what I noticed.
He's all eating already. He's all mouth chewing in the class.
One of the dry ones, them nothing. I don't know what to do with it. I'm eating it.
How it tastes?
It's good. I have
Tastes
not eaten
good.
from it. I have not eaten from
All
them.
right, that's good. So I'm getting some nice bubbles here. So the pot hot for me over here. Nice. All right. So what I'm gonna do now, I've got this little spear pot. We have butter, you say? I'm gonna melt some butter with a little oil and put these in it. So here in my little bowl, I've got mint. Let me bring this screen back down. I've got mint, oregano, and thyme in this.
Right.
And
okay.
I'm literally just gonna throw it. You have that, yes. So, we want to chop them. So of the mint. We get the flavor out of the mint. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm going to chop all of them again, but
what I have here.
We're going to chop it up a little fine-ish. This is looking good. And by the way, remember, you could do these in the oven. You could do them in the oven, but here you go. Stove top. Looking good. See that? My little pockets and all coming. Smells good. I can't wait to get into this, I tell you. Yes. All right, so we have some oil leave over. Oh, not too much. So to this little pot, I'm going to add about a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of oil just to cover the bottom of the pot. I'm going to add the butter to it to melt, but I don't want the butter to burn. So that's why I add a little oil.
Yeah.
And it looks so wonderful. Okay. I never blend out or something proper. So here we go, butter and oil. Gonna melt that. Let me see if I can take one of these stove. Oh, well, I still have one space. I have 2 space. Let's see when we can put this without my hand burning off. All right. We're raising it over there, so. No more? Sure? Come in some more towel. All right. Unfortunately, our butter kind of gone off. There's a little piece of the leaf kind of gone. So we're just going to add some more oil. Coconut oil, that is. And I'm going to add some olive oil to it, just for some extra flavor. And we're going to add the salt. What is salt then now? The pink one? Pink, yes, it's fine. And so I'm going to add a little pink Himalayan salt. Maybe about a teaspoon, that look like. And so what I have here, and I'm going to add the herb to it. Since this pot free, might as well me do it in this pot. Could I do some butter, but we don't have no time for doing no butter. We're hungry. By the time the rest of them finish, you know, like those things, you can make butter. So I'm adding my herb to this. I can take more herb and I can take a whole heap more herb. You can give me more, yes. And I'm adding some more oregano to this. And this is basically sufficient, really. Couple more seconds and you can turn that off. See some bread over here, so ready for brushing. Let's clean out this, brush it. Smells so good. All right, I'm turning this off. And I'm going now in with a brush. And I'm going to be brushing my breads. I could take more herb in this, right? So when I brush the bread, I will actually see some herbs going on it. At the moment, I'm not seeing the herbs, I'm just seeing the oil. All right, there we go. I'm going to quickly send you a good picture. I'm going to put them on a plate. Oh, we still have one. I'm just turning down the fire, but I'm not turning them up because we still have 4 more, isn't it? Let me drop them in. So this is where the oven would probably make a little bit more sense because you can hold more in the oven.
Doing everything one time, yeah.
Yeah. But it's nicer for the stove. Oh, there goes this one now. So let's see this guy over here. Nice. Looking good.
Yep,
So
they're looking good.
I'm going to add him on it.
They're looking good.
Looking good, yes.
Yep, they're looking good.
Brush him over too. All right, so there we go.
My bread is not good.
Very nice, lovely. You make some curry and you serve this with it. Use it, mop up the curry. All right, let's put this one in too. By the way, with some naan bread, when they make this mixture, they knead it in the dough. Right? So some naan bread, they knead it. They knead it in the dough, but that's an optional way of doing it. So I'm fitting 2 in the pot now. All right, I'm going to cover back this since we have cover fire.
Davina, my son approves of your bread.
Hallelujah. It's your bread, my dear. It's your bread now. But that is good. Tell him we say thank you. And I want to see him in the kitchen one of these days. So I want to see images coming through of your breads. And I'm going to say, I believe our time is past. Yes, let's see from... Yes.
Mine not coming.
Our time is finished. And we've got the... Huh? So we'll pray.
Yeah.
Sorry,
okay.
I didn't hear that.
I didn't say anything. I said yes.
Yes. So we'll pray and close. Okay. We'll pray and close, and then I'm expecting to see images of the sliced bread come through. And I believe, yes, we're definitely going to make some butter. I forgot we have sliced bread. Can't eat that without butter.
Okay.
So, and I want to see images of the naan bread coming through. And then when you reach right, as discussed, make the dough softer and stickier.
Definitely.
As long as you put some oil on your palm of your hand, just wash any remaining dough off your hands and grease your hands with some oil, and you'll be able to handle the sticky dough by forming it in a ball. And the stickier the dough, the more pliable. Okay. All right. So let us pray. Father, thank you very much for this session. I pray that as the ladies continue, their families may one firstly enjoy it, likewise themselves enjoy the bread. And as they practice at another time, ladies and gentlemen, that is, may their bread quality improve even more. May it be a blessing to their household as they use this to minister for thee as well. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you so much.
All right.
You next week?
Yes, we're gonna wrap up ours for dinner, but obviously I'm saving one and a slice for a student.
All right, my darling. Take care. Bye.
All right. God's blessings, everyone. Bye.